Hello, my friends. Now it's time to figure out, well, how do you actually work with these crazy little lawn fawn? They're little. They're itty bitty. This is a stamp set. These, whoops, these are the dies. They're little. Those are extras. We'll talk about those in a minute. But this is the die set that goes with this stamp set. I'll link everything below so that you can see it, but I just wanted to talk to you about how do you do it. If I put these on a card front, they would get lost. I need to bring them together into a scene and make that the highlight of my card. So here's this sweet little camping happy trails. Yes, I was camping all weekend. And yes, it was very muggy, but I wasn't in a tent, so I was okay. So let's talk about this. Some of the things that you're gonna want to gather is I have this die set. This is not from Lawn Fawn. This is one that was in my collection. It's a 3-inch circle, okay? And that works, that's kind of a good space to work in for something small like this. Now on some of the other ones, we'll use bigger designs, bigger spaces, but we're working with a 3-inch space for this. So I cut this out and I'm gonna show you how I did it. You'll often hear me talk about my card kit. When I talk about a kit, it's one I created. I didn't buy it anywhere. It's a card base, which starts out at 8.5 by 11. And if you've been watching me for a while, you've heard me say this. It starts out at 8.5 by 11. I cut it at 5.5 and I score it at 4.25. That's my card front. That's what gives me this, ready to go. These are 2 other pieces that go in my card kit. This is a piece of Nina Nina white cardstock. You're gonna have to give me some grace here for a little bit because I get confused with some of the projects in the product I've been using for years. So this is Nina white cardstock. Again, I'll link the exact one I'm using. And you cut it into 4ths. It's 5.5 by 4.25. And that just cuts your 8.5 by 11 into 4 pieces. So this is what I'm gonna stamp on. I'm gonna cut any shapes out of. You can use pattern paper, but you don't have to. This is a Lawn Fawn. They have these great little mini prints. They're not double-sided, but they're designed because everything is little in their world. Okay, so that's when I talk about a card kit. It's talking about a card base and then little pieces that are pre-cut, ready to go, so it's easier to work with. All right, let's move you out of the way. So by the magic of time lapse, I already colored these guys in, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about coloring them. I'm using Spectrum Noirs, and I do have a class coming up, and I will go through all of my tips that I know, but I bet you have some too. I'm also using Memento Black. That works really well with alcohol markers. If you notice, this is kind of a limited supply, and this is kind of what I needed. I showed you a picture of what I took with me camping, and that gave me everything I needed, including my die cut machine. Crazy. And I sat and was able to work around sitting on the deck, but it was great. Anywho, I stamped a bunch of these and then I colored them, and now I'm ready to cut them out. I wanted to talk a little bit about why I love the Anna Griffin Impress Mini, because I'm in a mini world. So everything fits on these. This comes with a very well used, but it's a magnet. So the A plate, the magnet, my colored in images, and now my dies. And watch, they just pop on and they stay there. I don't need any washi, I don't need any Post-it notes. These guys are little and they just stay where you want them. My car. Again, there's a little prep work that goes into these dies, and I will share that with you too. But we're not gonna include everything right now because I want you to see this. So here's our trees, our camper, and our car, all right? And I stamp them so I can cut them all out at once. I throw this metal shim in just because my magnetic plate is pretty well used. It just gives it a little extra boost, and then the top plate, and that's it. Let me see if I can get this over here to the camera without knocking 100 things over. Looky there. You hit run and you just pop it in. My hands are really sore tonight. We have a storm coming through and apparently I sound like an old lady, but my hands are sore. So cranking would be really annoying. I don't have to crank. I just run that little baby through. Now we're going to take this off and reveal our magic. And put our dies right here so we don't lose them. And here's our pieces. There's our camper and our car and our trees. All right, so let's figure out how we're going to put this design together. First thing, I took my extra piece and I took a circle and I ran it through. Okay, so let me run this through. And then I took these little, they have a really cool name and I should think of it right now, but I don't know it. They're from Fawn and they give you various shapes. And I used this one to give me the mountains. So I'm gonna run that there. And I used this one to give me the road, and I'm gonna run that there. I just need scraps. I don't need the full thing, I don't think. I think that's big enough. Yeah. And then I put you, it's kind of a sandwichy thing that we're doing, but what do you see? So now I'm gonna run you through. And what's awesome is this goes quick, it's easy to use, it's right here. And I'm doing this is real time, nothing's sped up here. Okay, now we're gonna take a little minute here. Let's move you. We need these pieces that we just cut. This one and this one, which at the moment seems like, are you out of your mind, lady? But look what's gonna happen. This is gonna go across like that, okay? And then this is gonna go across down here. I should have used a longer piece. My fault. Let's use a longer piece so we have a big enough one. Hold on, we'll just do one more. You know, don't be stingy. Use whatever paper you need. This is live, you guys. Not pretending. We're doing it live. Okay, I think we're good now. All right, let's take our scissors and get rid of that excess. So this is gonna go here, right? That's the part you're gonna see. And then this is gonna come down here and cover that, right? Okay. So take these, put them on my magnet, like so. And then I'm gonna take you, and I don't really care about the top of it. I really only care about the bottom. Like so. And I'm gonna put you on, and we're running you one more time. That's why I love this little one. It's right here. I'm not getting up, I'm not moving. It's just sitting on the corner of my desk. Works out really cool. So now I built, look at that. I built my little background that's going to be the scene for my little stamps. So then I'm gonna take some of my favorite sponges and my Tim Holtz Distress ink. I'm gonna create my sky. And I didn't have any of these, and they can get pricey, so I bought a collection of these little ones. which is really enough for me. And I'm gonna ink up my sponge. This just literally takes some practice. It does. I'm not always thrilled with it, but it's little. It doesn't show a lot. You kind of start rubbing over here so you don't have a big blotchy thing, and then you gently, don't push down so it looks like the sky. It's got a little bit of clouds, right? Easy peasy. If you don't like it, you could do another one. You could always cut another one out if you feel like you messed it up. Next is my green, which is this one. So I'm gonna take my green. Now I could have used pattern paper. I could have used cardstock. Yes, I just dropped it. You know me with ink, I'm gonna get messy. But I like this because I can get what I want and get the exact color I want. Now this one is a little greener than I would want, but hey, we are traveling through some pretty green grass. So there's that. And then last, this I used kind of like dirt, just to ground it, to kind of, you know, we're traveling along the road. And this is antique linen is the color. And I'm gonna just put this gently down on here. Things you want to think about when you're doing this. Don't get ink on your fingers and then touch this or you're gonna make a mess. Then I'm using the Fawn glue tube because I love it. It's little, it's not expensive. Again, I will link all this for you. And I'm gonna pop this right here. Line up the edges, get it where I want it. Get back there, okay. Not exactly where I want it. Live action here, guys. And then I'm gonna do one, you know what, I'm gonna fix this because it's gonna make me stay awake tonight. See how this came out a little weird? I'm just gonna snip that on off there. I'll feel better later. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Then, one more, I'm gonna glue this down. And then I'm gonna add it to the card. Pop this on here. Get that edges line up. And now I'm ready to build my card. I'm gonna start with that card base I talked about right here. And this is 4 by 5 1/4 that I've already pre-cut. Gonna put a little bit of our adhesive on here. Not too much. Pop that down. There we go. And then I'm ready to build this piece. Cover this up so I don't get into trouble. And I'm using my dimensionals. I'm gonna put one on my camper, one on my house, or car, and then my trees each get one too. Did I pop them up? I did not pop them up, sorry. So first thing we're gonna do is put our camper in. We need to make sure they're both gonna fit, and I'm using this as a road. You can ink it if you want. I'm not gonna bother with it this time, but I'm gonna kind of tuck you under there, okay? And then my car is gonna go under there, okay? Now I'm ready for my trees. I did not pop them up so that I could kind of slide them in place where I wanted them. I start with a bigger one. And I'm gonna just slide this in here. And then my little one is gonna stand in front of him. Then I took a few little enamel dots Get in there. And there's our second tree. Now our dots, I had some green ones. Yep, these are Stampin' Up! Ones. And I'm gonna use these just in a couple places. Along my card. Now, this is gonna get some dimensionals on the back, some foam dots to pop it up. And then I'm ready to add my sentiment. And you're gonna go right here and notice how if I just put these on this card, they would have gotten lost. But because they are on this little circle, it brings them all together. Now I could just stick that on and we'd be good to go, but I want the little pennant tails. So I'm gonna take my snips. This was just stamped on a scrap. Happy Trails is the sentiment that comes with this stamp set. There's also a cute, you could do a bunch of other scenes with this one. Again, you cut in the middle just a little bit and then come from the corner on both. I think there is a really cool die set from Fawn that I probably will collect over time, but I don't have it yet. And I need some more foam dots to pop this up, and we are good to go. And I've been using these when I, anything I do at the campground. So if I get propane and I need to give them a check to pay for my propane, I pop it in a cute little card. Happy trails, and we are good, right? So easy, and it really didn't take a ton of equipment, things you could use. You could use a circle punch if you didn't have this die that I'm using. You could use a square. You could cut it into shape. I like the circle. Other things on here, it's got a great little road, so I could stamp my own trail. I did stamp the clouds, but I didn't use them. I could have put them up here. They don't have a die. The dies that we have are these four in this cute little heart. Okay, well, I can't wait to see how you create these. Follow along and be sure to watch for when our new class is coming. I'm excited to share. It'll be all about Christmas with Fawn. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.